Here is, let's play this from Stephanie Cutter, because this is important to understand how this is breaking down. You're starting to see, and this is the way they roll out campaigns. Donald Trump was hitting Joe Biden because Barack Obama hasn't endorsed him yet. And that should not be a surprise to anybody, because it would be very strange for him to endorse at this stage. But what we are seeing is a lot of the people from the Obama world. I think the other day it was David Axelrod. Now it's Stephanie Cutter, and which is not to say that Axelrod is still welcome in that world in many respects, but maybe he is a little bit. Stephanie Cutter, but they're all talking about poo-pooing Bernie Sanders in some way. They're all running some type of interference in the areas in which they can. I will remind you, and you know what? We should actually look to try and find out who that reporter was. Do you remember in the run-up to the 2016 primaries, some reporter, I think they contacted you, and to get to...
Yeah, I don't remember the name, but I do. Yeah.
I bet you we could find it in emails.
Yeah, we could look
maybe.
for it.
But a reporter
the
from
O'Malley
Politico... Yeah, a reporter from Politico wanted to... an interview, maybe it was on background or just to get a quote or something. He was doing an extended piece on Martin O'Malley. And the way he put it to me was Martin O'Malley wants to know what he has to do to edge out Elizabeth Warren. And I was like, Elizabeth Warren, what are you talking about? She's not running for president. Bernie Sanders is. And he's like, yeah, but... he's not worried about Bernie Sanders. He just like the popularity that Elizabeth Warren has. I'm like, what? Are you serious? Bernie Sanders is going to do very well in this primary. And he's like, I mean, literally laughing. There's a level of cluelessness in some circles. They just don't get what's happening on the ground. And right now, regardless of how you slice it, there is a left lane in this primary. And according to this Emerson poll, 41% of people are supporting the two candidates in the left lane. Here is Stephanie Cutter at the Health Equity Summit, which is...
sounds like fun.
Well, it sounds like we're actually going to provide equity for everybody, but I think, is that a name of an insurance company or what is?
Maybe it's more like people have equity by investing in health insurance companies.
Let's hear.
House Democrats are having a hearing on Medicare for All. Most of the candidates on the Democratic side, all 24 of them, I don't know if anybody has joined the last 24 hours, have either commented on Medicare for All or have signed on to it. But what does that really mean? That's a really good question, because nobody knows exactly what Medicare for All means. The only one with a very distinct Medicare for All plan out there is Bernie Sanders. And he wants to replace the entire healthcare system, including Medicare, and put a universal plan in place along the lines of Medicare for everybody. That's not going to happen. First of all, I don't think Bernie will be president. Don't tweet that because there'll be a lot of hate on my Twitter.
Pause it. One of the sad things about Stephanie Cutter is that she's not aware that video exists. And so Health Equity, incidentally, is literally a company that helps provide services to administer health savings accounts, which are not going to be terribly useful in an era when you're going to have single payer. So, I mean, the idea that they're going to poo-poo this is, I think, healthy. Like, that's exactly what I want those people at that Health Equity conference to do.
Absolutely, and I think
we don't have to worry about it. It's not worth spending a dime on fighting that.
It's not worth spending a time on, and Bernie's the only one who's going to do it. I'll take that message as well.
If the opponents of Medicare for All were smart, they would launder their message a little bit more before it got to the public.
Yeah.
I also think the other thing too. I mean, I just want to, say I think that obviously people across the board can be really ridiculous on social media, and I think the Bernie campaign is definitely trying. Even if at times I think there is a extreme double standard to have people behave in a way that helps the campaign. But a little sympathy to people's anger there. I think that is where the legitimate part of people's serious frustration comes out, is a highly compensated consultant basically laughing off their ability to have health insurance. Is pretty disgusting.
Yeah. Well, that's a big problem with the Obama people, broadly speaking, is that there was a lot of there's a little bit of lip service, but now it's cashing in.